Hey everyone, ever feel like Windows is just missing something? Well, today I'm so excited to share something that's completely changed how I use Windows. Meet PowerToys, the best Windows customization app, and the best part, it's completely free and open source. But what is PowerToys? PowerToys is a set of super useful settings that otherwise can't be accessed in the Windows Settings app. Without further ado, let's get into it. Have you ever copied something from the internet and pasted it in Word, but then, well, I certainly have. But with the power of advanced paste, by pressing Ctrl-Shift-V, you can paste the plain text directly. This feature has saved me a ton of time. You can also paste as Markdown or JSON format, which can be very useful if you're collecting data. Always on top, as the name suggests, brings your application to the top of the screen. This feature has boosted my productivity by a ton, as when I am multitasking, it feels good to not have to constantly press Alt-Tab to bring back, say, your calculator or the terminal. When I'm heading out, I might still have an application running such as my AI training projects. This feature has helped me a lot by keeping my computer awake while I'm outside. Not having to worry about my computer going to sleep or locking the screen really feels good. Color Picker can provide the hex for the color you are looking at on the screen. This is awesome if you're into designing because with a single hotkey, you can call the Color Picker window and get the hex, RGB, even the HSL of the color you are pointing at. For all you developers up there, it must be very frustrating to enter a command in PowerShell and get the message, "Command not found." Well, with this feature, PowerShell will now give you the option to install the app with winget, or the APT for Windows. Have you ever wanted to share something on your screen, but they're surrounded by private information? Well, now with the keyboard shortcut, you can get a small movable window of a small portion of the application. You can also crop the application itself with Windows, Ctrl-Shift, and R. Although the feature is still experimental, so expect a tiny bit of bugs. Now again, this feature is more for developers. You can skip this part by clicking Ctrl and the right arrow on your keyboard. Now, you developers should know what environmental variables are and how frustrating it is to set it up. Well, with this app, you can now set environmental variables with an awesome looking GUI. Setting up environmental variables on this responsive app. Remember the Windows 11 feature where when you hover on the full screen button, you can rearrange all your windows on the screen? Well, think of Fancy Zone as that, but on steroids. You can literally customize the layout options or choose one that the app provided based on your screen resolution. By holding Shift while dragging the window, you can get this option to place the window in the pre-made rectangle. You can customize even more, like changing the color of the appearance and so on. Entering the developer zone again, I'll just quickly go through them. File Locksmith allows you to see which processes are using the selected files and directories. By right-clicking and choosing Unlock File Locksmith, a small window will pop up, showing you the processes using the file. Host File Editor, just like the Environment Variables app, is a GUI version of the host file on your PC. Again, nothing surprising for the general public, but developers will love this feature. File Explorer add-ons are some useful add-ons that people might like on their File Explorer. I personally love the thumbnail icon previews because I can quickly identify which file is which. Have you ever wanted to resize an image without going to some weird image app that will ask you to pay the moment you try to download the resized image? Well, not to worry. With a single click on the context menu, you can resize your image in an instant. Although I don't use this as much, if you want to remap any keys in your keyboard, Keyboard Manager is your pick. You know the cool feature in macOS where when you shake your mouse, it gets noticeably big? Well, Windows has got that too. By enabling Find My Mouse, you can also find your mouse by, well, whatever activation method you choose. There's also a highlighter that highlights your mouse clicks, mouse jumps that will allow you to jump through screens if you have too much of them, and finally crosshair for, well, I have no idea who's going to use this. However, nothing compares to this feature. By enabling mouse without borders and setting up a few things, you can let your mouse jump to other devices. This will be very convenient for people who have multiple computers for specific things. Peek allows you to quickly load a preview of a file without using any CPU-intensive applications. If you're like me and have a thing for organizing files, you are going to love this feature. Power Rename allows you to bulk rename a bunch of files to finish a job that would otherwise take ages. Just like mouse utilities, PowerToys Run brings a useful Mac feature to Windows. By pressing Alt-Space, you can open Spotlight, or as they call it, PowerToys Run. The only difference is that this app allows you to fully customize everything, from the font size to the amount of results to enabling and disabling certain search results. Quick Accent allows you to quickly add an accent to your characters, even if you don't have the specific keyboard. For people who use the Windows registry, have you ever wanted an app that could read the registry file so that you see exactly what it does? Well, this is the app. Registry Preview allows you to visualize and edit complex Windows registry files. Screen Ruler. That's it. Yes, just the ruler on your screen to measure pixels. Moving on. For some people, remembering shortcuts aren't exactly easy. And sometimes, a quick hint could remind them that Windows V can show your clipboard history. If you're the kind of person that needs that kind of hint, well, Shortcut Guide is the app just for you. Also, I believe I have a video about shortcuts. Check it out after this video. Many of the features I talked about are pretty useful, but none of them can compare to Text Extractor. You can select an area of text and it will copy it as plain text to your keyboard. This is very useful for some apps that don't allow text selection. Last but certainly not least, Video Conference Mute. When you're at an online meeting, it always sucks if somebody walks past you speaking. Well, not to worry, because now with a single hotkey, you can mute your camera and microphone. Just your microphone, push to talk, or just turn off your camera. Well, that is all for today. I've left a link to this app in the description for you to check it out. Thank you for watching the entire video, and I'll see you next time.